Hey guys, welcome to oiltradingpros.com. This is the daily wrap-up of the trade room. Today is 4/12/2012. Just want to give you a heads up on what we did in here and how we pulled some profit in the morning. Let's start backwards actually, since I've already got these charts up. This is the volume profile from Thinkorswim, and we have. Okay, so as you can see, we have a chart in a Thinkorswim volume profile. This is the ES mini S&P 500, and we trade this as well. We trade this along with crude oil. We'll show you some of the trades we went off of today. And give me a second here. We'll get these pulled up for you. This is live streaming data. This is our market for today. We'll show you a couple things we did. First off, we came over here to our volume profile chart and our ES. This is our 1 hour chart. Let me pull up the 30-minute here. Here is the 30-minute chart right behind it, which is, I'm just having all kinds of technical problems today. Our 30-minute chart, and you see these little low volume node right here, right there. Well, that serves as resistance. So correlated this over our chart at 83, I believe. We wanted to jump it just to make sure we got in it. And what did we do? We shorted at 83, and there was a 1.5 of profit available. I believe it took a point off on 2 contracts. And then the other 2, we pulled off half a point, quarter point, scaled them out. We had 5 of them, I believe, rolling. And we also basically had another. This was a double top it actually came into. Here's our shorting. This is where we shorted at right here. Okay, so we shorted it here, came up. We knew right away that our plan of attack was no more than a 1.5 stop. Why? Because things tend to rotate in the S&P 500 from low volume to high volume. Okay, so this low volume area, if it were to actually get through here, which it eventually did, I told the members in the room, I called this out, everyone else got in this trade and made money off this trade. What happened was it poked, hit it, bounced back, hit it, boing, bounced back, came back up, finally broke through it. I said, once this thing breaks through here, I said, you can look for a retest and then a long. Well, what's it doing? Right now the market's at 83, 83 and a half, 83 and a quarter, and we're at 84.75. So if you would have done what I said, basically, which was this line right here, let's get this down here where it should be. This was my entry point right here. Okay, I bounced off. We bounced off right here, which ended up coming down. Like I said, we went from our entry at 82.75 all the way down to 81.25. So there was over, like I said, a 1.5, enough for you to get a point off for sure. We always say pull the first set off at a point. Second set, let that run. Well, we ended up getting stopped on our second set, no big deal, because we made money off our first set. It's the biggest mistake people do is try to trade the E-minis with one contract. It's not possible. It is possible, but the problem is when you're trading with one contract, you don't know when to take it off. So if I were to just take this off at 1 point here and say, well, I'm going to take it off at 1 point, then all of a sudden the market drops, I'm going to be mad. Well, if it were to come down to a point in the money, 1.5 in the money, and I weren't going to take it off, and all of a sudden it were to come back up a point, and I can't even get out at a point anymore because it's trading between there, trading at 3/4. All of a sudden I'll be like, oh well, I'm going to take it for, I at least got to get a point before you know it, it's reversed against me, and it's taking me out. Versus taking off your first contract at a point, and your second contract, if you're trading 2 contracts, let that run, or you take that off at 2 points, or you set your break even at a point. So what I want to clarify right now is that we basically bounced right off of where I said we were going to bounce off of. Had a couple of people take the trade. Anyone who was basically in the trade room, I believe, took the trade. Myself as well. Took it, it bounced off. And what it did was it came back up, hit our green line, which is our low volume area right here. Hit it again. It already hit it how many times? 1, 2. This third time's the charm. It broke through finally. Broke through, hit this, came back up here. Like I said, if it breaks through, it's going to come back up above this red line, hit this red line, and it's going to act as support, and it's going to rotate upwards. If it hit this and it broke down, it would have rotated all the way down to the next low volume area, which would have been 1380. So now, chances are, it's going to rotate upward to 1389, possibly up to 1394, which is the next low volume area. So it's going to end up going, basically that's what it does. It may rotate within here. It may rotate within this 10-point area. Chances are tomorrow, since it is a Friday, the markets will be up. And what will happen is it will rotate, like I said, all the way back up on the 94. So that was our trade today in the ES. Don't get a lot of trades in the ES just because the ES does not move as much as everything else does. I shouldn't say everything else. It doesn't move as much and as fast as crude oil does. So let's get on to the crude oil trades that we took earlier this morning. All right, guys, our first trade of the morning was right here on crude oil, which we ended up getting stopped out on. Not a big deal. We took our next trade, which we ended up getting stopped out on. So it was a little bit rough morning start, but our next trade setup came right around 8:47. We got long, and our entry was 1310 and 1311. It looks like, so we'll say 1310 for the sake of it. And our exit was target 2. I'm having a hard time looking at this right now. Target 1, what looks like 103.20, so that was 10. Target 1 was 103.20, so that was the first set off at 10. Our second set was off at 25. Our third set exit was 61. So this trade alone would have netted you almost 50 ticks of profit right in this one first trade. Absolutely insane morning. So we could have easily let it float on up, but like I said, for the sake of it, since we had a loser here and a loser here, this was the first time in a long time we had a loser for our first 2 morning trades. That was pretty bad. But not to say we didn't get it back, because we took our next trade setup right here, which was beautiful, for over 50 ticks worth of profit. Okay? So after we ended up taking that one, looks like we had one here for a entry at 83 and a next one was an entry at 83, and our target looks to be target 1 was 94, so that's a little bit over 10 ticks, 11 ticks it looks like. Target 1, 2, 3, and 4 look like they were at 94 as well. Oh, no, we had one, it looks like, at 98, and the other one was at 94. So we had over 10, looks like 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 ticks of profit in this trade. And we had one right here, which our entry was here. We got filled for long. First target was hit. Entry was 03. First target was hit at 13. Second target we got stopped out at, looks like break even. And then we had another entry here for a long at 0404. We hit our next target here. Hit the other targets here. Looks like we got stopped out on one of those. No big deal. Looks like we ended up getting short right here. So as you can see, we had a order filled here for short. Target filled. And an entry here. Looks like we got stopped right here. No big deal, because our next trade came up. We had an entry here. That looks like it got stopped as well. We had another entry here. Looks like we got short here for another big winner here. Our end of the day P&L is 972.50. Thank you. This has been Chris from oiltrainpros.com. Check us out, oiltrainpros.com, oiltrainpros@yahoo.com. Sign up for a free trial of the chat room. Thanks, and have a great night.